right, man. Reports coming out of Chicago is that Zach LaVine prices is dropping like the temperatures in Alaska in the middle of January. It's dropping fast. He was a guy that Troy Weaver's about to pull the trigger on, last off season. Yeah, well, at the trade deadline, excuse me, and he didn't because Zach LaVine opted to have season-ending surgery. I don't know if it was the history of the Pistons rescinding the Bol trade due to a physical injury, which in hindsight looked to be a good move. But nonetheless, let's talk about it. Check out the Trade Piston Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the problem why isn't nobody is biting on that contract is because it's 130. My bad. It was 130 million over 3 years. So what is that? It's less than 50. So it's less than 50 million. So they don't feel comfortable, especially with the injury concerns, the lack of playing winning basketball in Minnesota and Chicago. I think he's a good player when he's playing. I think he'd be a good piece for the Knicks. But the problem also is he got to commit to the defensive side of the floor. I think KD brought that up in an Olympic run they had some years ago that he gonna play defense over here. And that's one thing I like about Anthony Edwards is that he defend. Not just offensively, he offensively played with or without the basketball, he defend. And that's like what Zach LaVine is missing. He don't really try on the defensive end of the floor the way he should. And I think if he was a two-way player in a way that his ability show he probably can be, his athletic ability, I don't think anybody would have a chance adding him, to a New York or adding him to a Minnesota and a championship caliber team. But it was kind of the whole thing with Andre Drummond. Remember, I think the Clippers was interested in Drummond, or it was the Lakers. It was one team, I think it was the Clippers or something like that. They wanted to trade for Drummond, but they didn't think he had enough experience in the playoffs and championship caliber experience and runs to man the middle. And they was right. Immaturity, soft. And I think with LaVine, that's the same type of question. But at this point in his career, you don't get the money back. Won't do that. But if a team that got championship aspirations in Miami and Minnesota, New York, and Denver, LA, places like that are going to take a chance on Zach LaVine, he going to have to play defense. He's never been a part of a winning basketball team. Yeah, they made the playoffs like a couple times or maybe once in Chicago. So he's going to get bottom feeders like Detroit and, maybe Orlando. They don't get Paul George and they got to settle for, a Zach LaVine, which it'd be a good look for him. Even, if Cleveland gets rid of Mitchell or Garland, it'd be a good look for him to go there, But the problem is, I think if he defended, I think he'd be a really good fit. Especially for New York. Him and Jalen Brunson would be a great 1-2 punch, but he got to defend. He got to defend. And even going to 76ers, him and Maxey be a good, but they got, he got to defend. And that's the issue. You got to get out there and defend. And him coming to Detroit, playing with Cade Cunningham, give him another ball handler pause. It's a lot of the cap getting ate up, going in the backcourt. You spend a lot of resources in the backcourt with Ivy, with Sasser, with Cade. You're going to spend more resources in the backcourt, like that. I think not. You're 130 right then and there. I think you get a little bit more bang for your buck for Brandon Ingram. Spend that money on Ingram. Worst case scenario, you let Sasser, because you're probably going to move Ivy, you let Sasser man the backcourt with Cade, or short time too, whoever win. And then you turn around and see if you can, you can add somebody at that 4 spot. Maybe, Miles Bridges, Lloyd Markkinen, who I prefer, or somebody like that, or alongside there, maybe it's Tobias Harris at the right price. Maybe you do that, but in my humble opinion, I don't think LaVine in the budget right now. Even if you don't get Brandon and you can't get anybody via trade, or at the end of the day, bruh, I think with a new coaching staff, with a new coach and the coaching staff, I think people will have new hope. And at this point you say, well, would they in the situation go out and get a young coach, or they go get an older coach? They didn't have experience with older coaches. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have those experiences. I think you get a present coach or a young coach. You know what I'm saying? You look for what Minnesota got in Chris Finch. think that's his name up there in Minnesota. And now also the assistant head coach is also looks for a head coaching job. But you get a young head coach that can do what Fitch do. Fitch put a lot of emphasis on a young team to defend. I mean, maybe a Nate McMillan wouldn't be too bad. Kind of older school way, but a coach that's going to get them to defend and bring them into the modern day age bring them into the old school age of basketball as far as offensively. We moving, we cutting, we slashing. And I think most importantly is giving this team an identity. When you look at Minnesota, their identity is we young and we don't give a fuck. You go down to Charlotte, at one point when they was trending the right way when LaMelo was healthy, we young and fun to watch. You look at Orlando, we coming, pause. We on the rise, but they got a lot of redundancy across their guards. So it's going to be time to consolidate some of those young guards and replace them with bigger guards. Is he going to be the lead guard and fill out that roster? Been rumors of Paul George, but Houston, they starting to put it together. Young, exciting, young coach in Ime Udoka who can kind of put it all together. Like they like a prep macaroni and cheese. Like you didn't put the cheese, the butter, the seasoned it, and everything you do to it. Use cream or whatever. Shredded your own cheese because that's the best way to do it. And now it's ready to go to the oven and bake. You know what I'm saying? Now it's ready to go into the oven and bake. So, like I continue to say, man, that's them. When you look at Detroit, it's just nothing. You got individuals that don't bring nothing to the table, no identity, no nothing. So, will Zach LaVine bring that? I don't think one player can bring an identity unless it's Shaq or Hakeem or Michael or somebody of that nature. But what I can tell you is, a new leader of the organization and a head coach can bring that. And if it's Sam Cassell, if it's a Nate McMillan, if it's the assistant coach in Minnesota, whoever it may be, they have to get all. They had a lot of work to do offensively and defensively, But I just think Zach LaVine, even if you're desperate to bring somebody in, they give him to you for free. I just think at this point, I think Zach, and one of my favorite players to watch, I think Zach deserves to be on a team that's on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? That's winning, not even on the up and up. He need to be on that I think he need to be on that stage to be part of a winner. That's just my opinion, and I think Detroit. Worst case scenario, you roll the dice with the guys you already got. You take the draft pick, whoever that may be, and you roll the dice with the young guys you got and see if a new coach can revive something. Now, can you roll the dice with Monty Williams and this young crew again? Absolutely not. You won't sell a fucking ticket. You'll be giving away free tickets for all. So if you're going to roll the dice with the roster that you got and just add to it, Monty can't be the head coach. He should be the head coach regardless. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't be the head coach regardless. So, my humble opinion on that. But I think Zach LaVine deserves to be on a playoff stage where people can see him. Same thing for DeMar DeRozan. I think he deserved to be on those playoff teams. And one of the hard things about implementing them guys on one of those teams is they both ball dominant. You go to New York, they'll share the ball. They need that guy that can get it out the mud on the wing. So New York would be a good place for him. I mean, Minnesota, the way they move the basketball, would be a good place for both those guys. But especially LaVine with his ability to shoot the rock. So I like to see that, man. We'll see where the NBA goes. As far as the finals, I just don't really care. If anybody, I really like out of all the guys. I was telling y'all we should go get Porzingis. I'm a Porzingis guy. I'm a Jaylen Brown guy, especially what they trying to do to as a character. But very smart guy, man. He was a fucking rocket science and ushered out his own deal. So you know how that goes. And went with Lamar. I like Tatum too, one of the few Duke players I like, but he kind of don't be showing up in the playoffs. That's something that he got to get over. Kyrie, saucy, Kyrie is nice. I like everybody involved, but it's not, to me, I don't care that Anthony Edwards is not in it and the Pistons not in it. So that's where I'm at with it. I say that I don't care. Edwards my guy, Damian Lillard my guy, two Adidas guy. So if I had to say like my 5 favorite players in the league is Damian, Anthony Edwards, they right then and there. They're my 2 guys right there. I love Zach LaVine, Nikola Jokic. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. I don't feel like I'm forgetting somebody. I'm going through my Rolodex right now. But I'll go ahead and say Tyrese Maxey. I was huge on Pistons trying to get Maxey when he came out. I didn't like him originally when I looked at his film in Kentucky, or just watching him just here and there. When I broke down his film, great two-way player, man. I loved him in that draft. I loved Kira Lewis in that draft, and I loved Sadiq Bey in that draft. So, and Tyrese Halliburton, they was all in the same draft. So yeah, Ja Morant, love Ja Morant, even though he makes some boneheaded decisions, man. But them my guys, Adidas guys, Ja Morant. Y'all know I like Shake Holmgren too. That's gonna piss B Taylor off. I fuck with Shaq. Shea. It's a lot of young guys. I like the young guys, bro. Shea, Shaq, Lillard, Edwards, LaVine, Maxey. Them my guys. I pay to watch those guys play, man. So them my guys. Porzingis, Tatum, Brown. I'm pulling for Kyrie because all the bullshit, but he got some good shoes with Anta. I'm gonna order them all black ones or them Indian shoes. Come on, Anta. I'm gonna gotta get a pair. So I've been saying I'm gonna get a pair of Antas, bro. I like Gordon Hayward's great Antas too, man. Them fire as hell. I ain't gonna lie. I might have to grab them. I might have to grab them. But the all black Kyrie Antas, they dropped them. I gotta get them. So, but hey, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications. We go live, drop video. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist for more videos like this. Hit the link tree. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support.